Hi, this is Alayna Estonilo, and I will be sharing with you guys today my game Team 0's Secret Garden. The goal of this game is that Team 0 will set out on an adventure to find the rumored secret magical garden. Team 0 is infamous for being a group of bandits. This team needs to cross into different territories to find the secret magical garden. Team 0 must defend themselves from anything that is out to get them. The materials that you will be needing is I will be providing a map. You can also create your own cards for this, but if you have a deck of cards, this would be great. You need face cards such as the Ace, King, Queen, Jack, and Joker cards. Those will be your characters. And then you will need all the other number cards to to have as spell cards. And then you will also need a 10-sided dice, an 8-sided die, and a 12-sided die. This is the map. You will start at this purple area right here. This is just a map for one of the levels. This is not just one final map. Eventually there could be different levels, like different higher leveled enemies and stuff. These arrows over here, these are long ranged enemies. These enemies can reach 2 spaces across. So from this one, this can reach to the starting. This arrow enemy can reach to over here, and then it could also reach right here, but this would be considered as a close range. So the arrow enemies have 300 health points, and then their attack is only 10 damage when it's close range, but it is 50 damage when it attacks long range. So right here in this spot, this one can only attack here for 10 damage, while this one over here, same thing, can only attack over here for 10 damage. However, this one can attack cross. This will be considered a two space area, okay, because from here is 1, then from here is 2. So this is a second space area, so this can reach over here and hit for 50 attack. Same thing with here, this one can hit here for 50 attack or 50 damage. Then there are the knives. These enemies wield knives, and they are only good for short range. And so these have 100 damage when you reach a space nearby it. So this one can only attack this space, or technically only this space, because you have to defeat the enemy before you can move on spaces. So it can only attack this space, this one can only attack this one, and this enemy can only attack this one. These green spaces are your health regeneration areas, and every time you get to a station with a health regen area, you will gain whatever regeneration points you have. So you'll have 100 points here, or 100 health points here, and this one will actually give you 200 health points. The entire party is given 1,000 health points. It is not per character, it is for the entire party. So let's say you have like a solo player will have 1,000 health points, and when you play multiplayer with maybe 5 players, everyone still has a total of 1,000 health points. The whole team will get injured rather than a single character by itself. For this map, the final boss has 2,000 health points, and their attack is 300. It can deal 300 damage to the whole team. You must follow the one given path. This is, you can see that through the lines going down. So it kind of goes like in a spiral, except kind of like blocky rectangular-ish. You can only move one space at a time. One space equals one turn, so from start to here it is one turn, and once you're here and you start to battle an enemy, then each attack equals a turn. And each attack, meaning one turn, will equal, let's say you have the full five players. Each of the 5 players can all attack, and that'll equal one turn. Before the attacks happen, the player can activate spell cards. Spell cards are gained after every space that has been moved. So there's a total of 18 spaces. So from the very beginning, you do start with one spell card, and then the next one you will receive a spell card, and then after you defeat this enemy, you will receive one more spell card, and so on. So you'll get a total of 18 spell cards, I believe, if I counted correctly. These spell cards are represented by the numbered cards in a regular deck of cards. These are randomized until you roll the 8-sided die. So let's say you have a spell card here and you want to see what card you get. You can roll the 8-sided die at that moment, and depending on what number you get will determine the spell card that you have. Spell cards are considered fast action cards, so you can use, let's say you save up all your spell cards for the end, you can use all of the 18 spell cards that you've gathered up for the ending or for the final boss all in one turn. There's no limit to how many spell cards you can use for one turn. An enemy can continue to attack as long as it's within range and alive. So let's say you're on this side where there's 3 long range here. So let's say you defeated this enemy, right? And your party, Team 0, cannot attack. Only long range can attack farther enemies, but everyone else cannot attack across diagonally or like past the path. So let's say you have a sword. The sword can attack another sword in its path, but it cannot attack this arrow over here. As long as these enemies are not defeated, they will keep attacking your party until they are out of range. So let's say you have a long range user, which is, let's say, a character that wields the guns. They can attack here. You can stay in the space if you want until these enemies are defeated, or you can wait until you get closer to them and defeat them there. You must defeat an enemy before advancing a space if they are blocking the next space. So here you must defeat this enemy, but you do not have to defeat this enemy because they are not blocking your path. So over here you must defeat this one and this one before continuing on. You do not have to defeat this one or this one since you are over here. Yeah, and that is the map, one of the map levels. Oh, and you can only travel forward. There's no going backwards, there's no going across spaces. Maybe later in the future there will be bridges or different paths that you can take, but for now you can only go one way. These are the playable characters. You have I gave a little key legend for the cards that you'll be using. These are the face cards: Ace, King, Queen, Jack, and Joker. An ace can represent the defense player or character. They are solely for blocking attacks only. They can block half the damage received from an enemy, and that will, remember, it'll block the whole half damage for everyone. And then there's the sword user, that when you roll the 12-sided dice, the 12-sided dice will determine your attack power. And so when you roll the attack, or the 12-sided die, you will multiply that by 3, and it can only attack close. It can attack close range, multiplied by 3. For long range, you can only attack by 1. There's the long range users, which is the gun, represented by the gun and queen. They attack multiplied by 3 long range and 1 short range. The magician, represented by the jack, they are kind of like all-arounders. They have multiplied by 2 attack close and long range. The little devil is a little special case. They have powerful attack. They multiply your attack by 5. So let's say you have you roll a 10, you get 100, and so you would multiply 100 by 5, you get 500 attack, and that would be powerful. But this character, because it is a strong character, you can only attack for every 2 turns. So let's say there's 5 players, only the person playing the little devil can attack every 2 turns if the attack is successful. If the attack is not successful, they can keep rolling the dice for it. This does require the 10-sided die to determine the chance of attack hitting. If it is 0 through 6, then there is no crit rate, and if there is 7 through 9, then you have hit the criteria of being able to hit the enemy. And this character can attack 3 spaces straight, cannot attack any diagonal. So that means this character, let's say you're from the start, you can attack here, here, here. Let's say if there's enemies all 3 here, you can attack here, 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 but you cannot attack here, or there, or there. And these are the dice. The 10-sided die will determine the crit rate of the little devil. The 8-sided die are the spell cards. 1 through 2 is a bomb card, like you can drop a bomb onto the enemy. And then 3 through 4 is a defense card. It'll deflect half the damage received and reflect it onto the enemy. So then, let's say you have a defense person, so it'll be half that damage, half of the damage received after the defense has taken it up, and then it'll reflect onto the enemy. So the enemy will receive some damage from you. And then 5 through 6 is multiply 2 of the total attack. 7 through 8 is a healing card, so plus 50 health points. Then you have the 12-sided die, which is your damage. You basically multiply from 1 through 10 by 10 for your damage. 11, your attack fails and you get 0 attack. For 12, you get 200 attack flat. And that's the end. Hope you understand. And send me any questions if you need.